Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel, Bachelor Nation News. Fans. Sometimes love isn't just about butterflies and stolen glances. Sometimes it's about the courage to be vulnerable, even when your heart risks being broken. Today, we're diving into the emotional, heartfelt journey of Sean and Allyshia in Bachelor in Paradise, a story that will make you smile, sigh, and maybe even shed a tear. But before we reveal the twist that left Paradise and their hearts forever changed, let's rewind to where it all began. From the very first moment they met, there was an undeniable spark. It wasn't the dramatic gestures or the flirtatious smiles. It was something deeper. Sean's quiet charm met Allyshia's warm laughter, and together they created a safe space, a little bubble in the middle of Paradise. For viewers like you who know the thrill of discovering connection later in life, their story resonates. It's the reminder that love can surprise you at any stage, that it's never too late to find someone who truly sees you. But the heart, as we all know, doesn't follow a script. Just as quickly as connection forms, doubt can creep in. Paradise is beautiful, yes, but it's also a pressure cooker. Emotions run high, insecurities surface, and every choice feels amplified under the watchful eyes of cameras and viewers. Sean and Allyshia faced their first real challenge when differences in communication styles began to surface. Small misunderstandings escalated. Heartfelt words were misinterpreted. And for the first time, we saw cracks in their otherwise glowing connection. Here's the thing. Heartbreak isn't always about a dramatic breakup. Sometimes it's subtle. It's in the pause before you respond, the question you're afraid to ask, the hesitation before a hug. And for Sean and Allyshia, that moment came unexpectedly, leaving us all wondering, could their spark survive the weight of doubt? Just when it seemed like the storm might pull them apart, something remarkable happened. In the quiet of the evening, away from the drama and the cameras, they talked, not as contestants, but as two people who truly wanted to understand each other. It was raw. It was real. And in that moment, they reminded us why we fall in love in the first place, not for perfection, but for the courage to face imperfection together. Sean admitted vulnerabilities he'd kept hidden. Allyshia shared fears she'd never voiced. And slowly, the tension melted into something even more beautiful: trust. But Paradise had one more test waiting for them, and this test would push both their hearts to the edge. As viewers, we often crave a fairy tale ending, but life and love rarely follow a script. Sean and Allyshia reached a crossroads where passion and fear collided. Choices had to be made, and not every decision leads to a happy ending. This is the part of their story that tugs hardest at the heartstrings. Will the love they fought for survive? Or will the challenges of Paradise prove too great, leaving them to wonder what could have been? Just when it seemed Sean and Allyshia were finding their rhythm, Paradise reminded them that love doesn't exist in a vacuum. Secrets, misunderstandings, and past experiences lingered, waiting to resurface at the worst possible moment. For Sean, a conversation from a fellow contestant stirred insecurities he had tried to bury. And for Allyshia, whispers about Sean's past actions planted seeds of doubt. Suddenly, the connection that felt unshakable was clouded by fear. It's moments like these that remind us love is as much about patience and trust as it is about romance. And watching Sean and Allyshia navigate these stormy waters, we feel every pang, every hesitation, every heartbeat. But what happens when love meets a fork in the road and the path forward isn't clear? That question would soon test the very foundation of their bond. The magic of paradise often happens in the quiet moments. And for Sean and Allyshia, it was during one of these sunsets that they bared their souls. Words flowed like the ocean waves at their feet. Admissions of fear, confessions of longing, and heartfelt promises. Allyshia spoke of her desire for clarity, for honesty that would reassure her heart. Sean admitted the struggles he faced in balancing the excitement of the show with staying true to himself. It was beautiful, yet bittersweet, because as much as they wanted to hold on, they both knew that sometimes love requires choices that break the heart before it heals. And then came the moment viewers had been waiting for, the decision. Would Sean and Allyshia take the leap together, or would Paradise's pressures pull them apart? It's in this decision that we see the raw truth about relationships at any age. Love is never easy. It demands courage, honesty, and sometimes a willingness to face heartbreak. For Sean and Allyshia, the choice wasn't about who loved whom more. It was about whether they could truly trust that love to survive the world outside paradise. And in that silence, we are reminded. The most profound journeys are often the ones that leave our hearts in pieces before they make us whole again. Watching Sean and Allyashia's journey, there's a lesson for all of us, especially those of us who have loved and lost, and loved again. Love is not just the big gestures. It's the quiet honesty, the vulnerability, and the willingness to step into the unknown with someone else. Even when it's heartbreaking, even when it tests the very core of who we are, love shapes us. It teaches resilience, empathy, and the profound beauty of connection. And while their story may leave viewers teetering between hope and heartbreak, one thing is clear. Sean and Allyshia remind us that love, no matter the outcome, is always worth the journey. Their journey might find its calm. Paradise threw one last curveball. Unexpected arrivals, whispered advice, and fleeting doubts tested everything Sean and Allyshia had built. For viewers, it's a reminder. Life rarely gives us the perfect moment. Often the most meaningful experiences come wrapped in uncertainty and challenge. And in this moment, we all held our breath, wondering, would their bond withstand the pressure, or would the weight of paradise finally pull them apart? In life, love and heartbreak often arrive hand in hand. For Sean and Allyshia, this became painfully clear. Despite the depth of their connection, circumstances and timing intervened. Allyshia admitted that stepping forward required clarity she couldn't fully grasp at that moment. Sean, heart-heavy yet respectful, chose to honor that honesty rather than push forward. It's a scene many of us can relate to, loving someone fully, yet realizing that sometimes letting go is the bravest form of love. Their goodbye wasn't filled with anger or regret. It was tender, reflective, and achingly real. And just as we thought the story might end here, Paradise had one final heartbeat, one last emotional moment that would stay with viewers long after the credits rolled. Even in heartbreak, hope persists. Sean and Allyshia returned from Paradise not as a couple, but as individuals transformed by the experience. Their journey reminded us that love isn't always about possession or permanence. It's about growth, understanding, and the courage to open your heart fully, even when it might be broken. And the most surprising twist, both discovered newfound clarity about themselves and what they truly seek in a partner. It's a lesson that resonates deeply. Sometimes the greatest love story isn't about staying together. It's about learning how to love fearlessly for life itself. As we watch their story, there's a universal truth for all of us, especially those in the golden years of life. Love isn't about perfection. It's about bravery, vulnerability, and the willingness to embrace both joy and heartbreak. Sean and Allyishia's journey is a mirror, reflecting our own experiences of connection, risk, and emotional discovery. It teaches that even brief, fleeting moments of true connection can leave lasting impressions, shaping the way we approach love, trust, and life itself. And while their paradise journey may not have ended in the way fans hoped, it ended with something far more valuable: wisdom, growth, and the undeniable proof that hearts that dare to feel truly matter. So, what can we take from Sean and Allyishia's heartfelt, heartbreaking journey? That love is never wasted, that the courage to connect, to risk, to feel deeply is what makes life extraordinary. And maybe the most important lesson of all, sometimes the greatest stories aren't about the happily ever afters. They're about the journey, the emotions, and the resilience that love inspires within us all. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of Sean and Allyishia's unforgettable time in paradise. Their story may have been bittersweet, but it's a reminder: love in any form is always worth it.